What is going on, my friends? Good evening. Welcome to another Micslmn video. Tonight, although it doesn't look like tonight in the sim, but I do assure you it is pretty late here this evening. Tonight we bring you an arrival into hot Atlanta. We recently just left Nashville, Music City, in the Southwest 737 800 Zibo mod, and we are approaching our top of descent into Atlanta here. Atlanta's looking pretty spicy based on the reported METAR here. We'll get to that in a second, but just wanted to come on here, man, and throw up another video. I know we haven't streamed since Monday. It's been a pretty hectic work week, but nevertheless, we're here. We'll also be back tomorrow for a I don't know when I'm gonna post this, but it's Thursday night technically now, so we will be back Friday afternoon, Friday evening with another live stream. We'll be happy to interact with each and every one of you in real time. Without further ado, man, let's get to it. We've got some work to do before we make our arrival into Atlanta here. So as we mentioned, we are at top of descent. Let me get this music down just a bit here. We're actually going to start down now. We got an initial restriction at Chipper at 13,000 feet. So let's go ahead and dial that into the MCP here. And we can also get some sounds back up here in the sim. Hope you guys are doing good, man. It's like I said, it's been since Monday. Been watching plenty of other content creators out there, though, throwing up the streams. Been a pleasure and quite fun enjoying those streams. But we're back here, man. We're back here, and like I said, tomorrow we'll be back with another live stream. Atlanta, we're coming in via the Chipper 1 arrival. Atlanta looks like flight radar. We're not on VATSIM tonight, so that's pretty late. Flight radar looks like they are landing west ops. It looks like we got some nasty weather there as well. Let's get over to our charts like we normally do. We'll start with the METAR, of course. Atlanta, we're looking at 350 at 4, so winds out of the northish, 1/10 of a mile visibility, and a reported runway visual range of about 6,000 feet. We've got mist, overcast at 300 feet, 7 degrees Celsius, 6 degrees on the dew point altimeter, 3009. We've got some remarks regarding surface visibility and rain and all that good stuff. So it ain't great weather there, my friends. It's not great weather there. But anyways, we're going to try to make the best we can of it. We'll take a look here at the actual arriver, the Chipper 1. Descending now. We're going to be crossing Chipper, or aim to cross Chipper at 13,000. 250 knots. Yes, 250 knots. Actually, no, that's only for landing east. So we've got free speed crossing Chipper. We'll essentially enter the downwind here on the arrival. We'll runway 26 right into hot Atlanta. 26 right, we've got that programmed in as well as it relates to the localizer frequency and the approach course, 110, 10, and 275 respectively. We've got the airport elevation 1026, that's programmed up in the pressurization panel. We've got an MSA for the Atlanta VOR overall at about 3,100 feet, so that makes sense. Minimums coming into 26 right, we're looking at 1190 under decision height. It'll be an ILS approach, obviously, based on those conditions there. So 1190, we've got that set up there as well. And then taking a look at our missed approach. So obviously, if we aren't able to get into Atlanta, we need to go missed, which is there's a pretty good chance, you know, in all likelihood, considering the conditions here, that that could happen. So we want to be cognizant of our missed approach. We're going to climb to 1,400 feet, then climbing right turn to 3,500 feet, outbound the Atlanta VOR. Intercept Troy's and hold or as directed by air traffic control, which is essentially here. It's right turn and intercept out there. We're not on VATSIM like I mentioned. We're just going to come straight back in and try the approach again. For whatever reason, we can't make it in. We do have an alternate tonight, which is we go back to Nashville. So we've got plenty of fuel to do that as well. Anyway, man, that is the plan. That is the arrival into Atlanta. Once we get there, 26 right, we'll vacate, obviously, and we'll cross 26 left and taxi into the concourse, either Charlie or Delta for its southwest. We'll find a parking spot and tuck her in for the night. Yep. So that's the plan for this evening, my friends. I hope you all are staying well and safe, man. I know we've got some friends out there in the Midwest, especially in the Texas area. I hope you guys are staying warm and safe. I know the winter weather has been unkind to you all over the last 7 days or so. So hopefully it starts warming up. I'm rooting for you guys. You guys continue to stay safe out there for sure. Looks like we're good here. Let's get the seatbelt signs on. And let's also make a cabin announcement for the descent. Gorgeous approach here, sunset approach. Calm before the storm, if you will. Once we get below this cloud deck, at least if the METAR is correct, then the X environmental weather matches up. It'll be a whole different story. But right now, looking really, really good and looking really, really gorgeous. The plan for tomorrow, so it is an FNO technically, but the airport is Denver International, I believe. So we're going to do something a little bit different, man. After a while, it kind of just gets tiresome, boring, if you will. You know, trying to go into the same international airports over and over again. So we're going to do something a little bit differently. We're going to go to Colorado Springs. Actually, we're going to depart Colorado Springs, so we should have ATC coverage, and make our way north up to Jackson Hole. Wyoming should be about an hour, and then Jackson Hole back down to Colorado Springs, which should be about another hour as well. We'll be taking up the Citation CJ4 working title mod to do that flight, so we'll do some private jet ops, high altitude private jet ops for tomorrow's FNO. We'll make it a little bit differently, man. A lot of these FNOs, you know, most of the times they're all focused on these big major airports, flying the big birds, the big jets, and you know, every once in a while you've got to switch it up and make things a little bit interesting. So that's what we'll do. We'll jump back in FS 2020 and we'll do that. Haven't forgot about you, Xplane. Our last couple of streams have been FS 2020, and in fact last Friday we even did P3D, so haven't forgotten about Xplane for sure, which is part of the reason why we wanted to record this arrival into Atlanta. So hopefully it goes well. Again, pretty late, pretty nasty weather down there, but we're not making excuses. As long as we get her down and get her down safe is all we're focused on this evening. Looks like after that initial fix, chipper 13,000, the rest here is our discretion, or technically if we were on with ATC we'd be getting vectors. So we'll take a look here, vector ourselves down. We've got a little bit of time. It's like the initial approach fix, just Zerlo. 5,000 feet, which is just outside the initial approach fix actually, so we've got plenty of time. So let's get this dial down to 5,000 and we'll slow that rate of descent. Then you want a nice squared up turn to final here, especially with these conditions coming into Atlanta. Boost the range on that a little bit. We'll keep that speed up because we have got plenty of time here. Not too worried about it. See what else is going on in the aviation world and across you know, the content creation. Like I mentioned about a week ago, we did, exactly a week ago actually, we recorded another podcast, Stalker and I, with Vertical Sim. I know lots of folks have checked it out already. We continue to kind of get the statistics on it and who's checking in and who's leaving comments, even voice comments, voice messages about the content, which is really, really appreciated. It was fun talking to Vertical. Lots of insight regarding his scenery development, kind of how he got started, you know, what's the future looking like from a roadmap perspective and all that good stuff. So that was enjoyable. You guys check that out. We've got some more folks coming on as well. We've got, you know, a folk or two within the community from a content creation standpoint as well. You all know these folks very well, so it'll be nice to get on and have some conversations regarding a multitude of different things and kind of hear it from a different perspective or a different angle altogether versus on a regular live stream. So we've got that going. We'll also get some real world drivers out there. We've got some folks teed up that are Airbus drivers out there for certain airlines currently. We've got some private jet operators out there that's flying currently, and now the purpose will be to kind of get their perspective as it relates to you know, what they're up to these days. Let's get the landing lights on, the wing lights on. That can go to continuous. We'll get the engine anti-ice on as well, since as we get through that cloud deck. Recall looks good, and it'll be auto brake level 2. Yeah, we'll get some insight from them as it relates to COVID and how that kind of you know, has impacted their overall career. And get the time back just a tad. And some perspective as it relates to the future of aviation. You know, I've had lots of off-the-air chats with them, and I kind of want to bring that all back to you guys as well, because I think it's pretty interesting. So that's the plan. We're below 10, so technically we should be below 250 knots. So let's bring the speed back here just a hair, or more than just a hair. Just bring it back to 250 exactly. We've got a nice rate down. We've got plenty of time for 5,000 there. She's looking good. This is the second flight I'm doing with Xenviral, I believe, or second recording with Xenviral. Still kind of trying it out. It's still, you know, pretty heavy on frames for me, man, running 4K. You know, the settings are down to the basics pretty much within the Xenviral menu, and we've got modest Xplane 11 sim settings. Especially running 4K, you don't need certain things like anti-aliasing, so we've got that turned all the way down to FXAA, I believe, and we're still barely cracking 23 FPS right here. So it is super performance hungry, Xenviral is, but we'll see if we can manage. Looking good, coming through 6,000 now. Slow that rate just a little bit more. Got plenty of time here. Not rushing things at all. Everything up top looks good. Everything's tuned in. Altimeter's checked and cross-checked. Looks good. Actually 3009 now. We just got a weather update at Atlanta, so 3009. The rain has stopped, so it's not raining anymore. Still pretty crappy on the visibility, but looks like no precipitation any longer. That's all right. That's good.
1,000 to go.
Make things a little bit easier for us. Actually, let's see. Heinz at 5,000, Bamboo at 2,700. We can probably cut this a little bit short. Why don't we do that? And then at Bamboo, we'll be at about 180 on the speed. Let's bring all of that down now. Make that speed 180. We will take heading select, so vectors to final approach course. We're actually coming through the soup a little bit now, so I'm going to go ahead and get engine anti-ice on. As the TAT is +8 and visible moisture. Not too far from +10, but technically the rule of thumb is anything below +10 degrees Celsius, visible moisture, if we're on the ground, standing water, slush, you name it, that thing comes on. So better be safe than sorry. So we'll get that on right now. Looks good. We'll slow the rate of descent just a little bit. Let's get the cabin crew situated for landing here. They can take their seats. It's already starting to get bumpy. We're just coming through the flight, through the cloud deck here.
Before making our final descent, please check in this one. Make sure seatbelts are securely fastened. For any seats and trays, open locked and restow carry-on items. We also ask you discontinue the use of and stow all portable electronic devices in preparation for landing. We'll be coming to pick up the remaining service items and any other.
I got a little bit of static within the clouds. Again, that's because I'm running like the base minimum setting for Xenviro in order to get this bad boy to cooperate.
How's it go?
How's it go? That's checked. We'll reduce that rate just a little bit more.
2,500.
2,500 is checked. We'll see if we can't square this up nice and neat to put us on the final approach course here for runway 26 right. Like I said, very short flight from Nashville. Nashville was, first of all, I've never been in Nashville in my life. Many cities across the United States. Traveling for work purposes or leisure. Nashville, unfortunately, is one I've never been to. So definitely on the docket for sure, but also in the sim. It only dawned on me a couple weeks ago that I've never flown to Nashville in the sim either. So we went and found on the Xplane org store nice scenery. We'll definitely have to come back and actually do a live stream. We'll probably do a land into Nashville. And check that out live. Man, I tell you, that's really where, you know, Xplane, one of the areas Xplane shines, and it's just that ability to just hop on the org store and find scenery at will. And they're all usually pretty decent, like payware quality for freeware type deal. So that's what we did. Yeah, found a nice Nashville. We'll come back and we'll do a live stream there. Go ahead, get flaps 1 out. We definitely cut the arrival here by a good margin. If it was busy, Atlanta would have never really given us that. Would have extended that downwind. But I have come into Atlanta before where it wasn't too busy, and he's, you know, kind of did the same thing we're doing here to make things a little bit easier for us and speed it up for us. So that's what we're kind of doing today. Start that base. Looking good. And to kind of clean up the box and give us a better situational awareness around, you know, how much further we have to the runway and get rid of some of this unnecessary jazz. That's what we'll do, direct bamboo, and we've got about 14, so it looks good. Trying to square it here nice and neat. We'll get the terrain on ND on the right side there on the FO side. Let's bring her home, man. Looking good. Take flaps 5. And we'll keep her turning there. That should be the loc now. There we go. Loc captured. We've got about 11 mile final, 10 mile final now for 2-6 right. Now let's go ahead and activate the approach. Get some shades on. Got that sun in our eye. Run the lope. See if we can't get the glide. Got about 9 to go. We'll square that up. We did talk about our misapproach, right? So runway heading for right turn 3,500 feet. Direct choice and hold. However, we won't hold. We'll just come back around and try the approach again. Eight miles to go. We're looking good. Sure is bumpy up here, man. All right, I see my diamond. Just coming down nice and easy. And we should get the glide slope here any second now. There we go. Glide slope captured. All right. Plus 15 gear coming down. Got plus 7 on the TAT. Looking good. Let's get fully configured now. Landing checklist. We've got flaps 30, green light. We got auto brake level 2. Gear down 3 greens. Missed approach altitude 3,500 feet is set. Speed brake is armed. And we're clear to land runway 26 right. Again, I think ceilings were 300 feet, so it's going to get pretty low here.
1,000.
1,000 is checked.
1,000 feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Hopefully we break out. If not, we'll have to go around. She's coming.
400.
400. I have nothing yet. We are in it bad.
300. Approaching minimums.
Should we call it, guys?
200. Minimums.
Barely runway lights.
100.
High aircraft.
50. 40.
Oh, that's spicy.
20. 10.
Oh my gosh, we gotta save this. Get her down. Ooh, that was terrible. Even a bounce, but we'll take it, man. We got plenty of runway. Maybe not.
80 knots.
Oh my gosh. Talk about how to not shoot an approach. Like, we were seconds away from going around because we broke out like maybe 1 feet below our mist. Jesus. All right, man. We'll take it, man. Like I said, on the arrival in here, we are just looking to get her down safe and sound. We got her down. Spicy. Lots of ballooning and even a bounce. But we're here, man. We're here in Atlanta. We're gonna go check that replay out. See what we could have done a little bit better. First of all, maybe go around. That's one option. But we're down, man. Let's take her to the ramp. Go ahead straight here on hotel. No traffic on with us right now, so I'm not too worried about it. And we'll just continue to cross. That was spicy, boys and girls. That was spicy. Good. In fact, man, we don't have to park her. You guys have seen me park airplanes more than enough times. Let's just go straight to the replay, why don't we? We'll stop her right here. Let's go toggle replay mode. Back it up. You can see a damn thing coming in, man. Definitely should have went around though. Definitely.
2,500. 2,500.
So that was the gear coming down. We don't need to go back that far. Speed her up.
One thousand.
From the 1,000 call out. There we go. Couldn't see a darn thing. Get those sounds down just a bit. We literally didn't, like, we should have, you know, if we were on the up and up, man, and we were playing this by the book, that was a go around for sure. Look at that. Barely. And it doesn't help Xenviro's drawing some weird ground shadowing. That was kind of ridiculous to see. That's when I got the runway, and there's me pulling back on the stick to kind of flare her out, but we were way high to begin with, so then I'm like, wait, we're not on the center line, let's move over here. But now we start to balloon her. Missed all of the markers. Ballooned it again, but then finally got her down. Nice flare, man. If we did one thing correctly, it was the flare. That was a nice flare. And then we were pretty much running out of runway here. Let's take a look at it from the cockpit view. Where did we disconnect?
2,500. 400.
So that's still the aircraft.
800.
That's still the autopilot.
200.
I think that's when I said my airplane, right?
100.
We're about right there. Yeah, we were high, like, so I don't know if we even had the glide slope properly.
20.
That was dicey, boys and girls. That was dicey.
2,500.
Not Micslmn's finest for sure. Not our finest for sure. We're gonna have to redeem this definitely tomorrow.
2,500.
Look at all that ballooning. Jeez, man.
2,500.
We'll have to redeem this tomorrow during the FNO, man. Hey, man, we're down safe though. Listen, man, that's gonna do it for us. Again, I wanted to just come back here and just get something on. I know it's been a couple of days. You know, work really kicked my butt this week, but we're here. We got this up. Dicey landing. We'll be back tomorrow on the FNO. Looking forward to seeing each and every one of you. We'll get this edited, thrown up on the channel here. Should be up probably in the morning. And until then, you all take care. We'll see you in a couple hours. Micslmn is out.